Sometimes it's soft as a misty rain that gently touches my soul. It cools the fire that burns in me, and I simply lose control. So just rain down on me. Let your love just fall like rain, just rain on me.
Hello, and welcome back to Giselle Eats. It's Monday evening, and we want to get a quick Monday's dinner started. So, what we have today is some green beans, a meatloaf, some cornbread muffins, and mashed potatoes. Something quick and easy, but let's get these green beans started. I hope everyone is doing well and in great spirits. I am doing pretty good, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You know there will be more. So, welcome to fall. I am so excited that it's fall. You might can't tell, but this is my favorite time of the year. I hate being hot. I hate being a musty cat. And this cool breeze that we're getting at night and in the morning is just like perfect. No, I can't walk out of the house with my hair dripping wet, but I love this. But let's get these green beans started. We're going to add a little bit of bouillon, some cracked pepper, and some crushed red pepper. Right now I have oil in the bottom of this pan, and I kind of like to toast the seasonings before I add the smoked turkey. I think I said ham hocks, but no, this is not ham hocks. Those are smoked turkeys. I like to heat the seasonings up before I add the ham. Come on, we're not cooking ham hocks today. We're cooking smoked turkey. We're putting smoked turkey in these green beans. So get everything real toasty, flavor your oil really well, and we're gonna add water to it and get those cooked down until they are fork tender. Now, you do not want them to fall apart in the beginning. You kind of almost want to push them apart or stare them apart towards the end of the dish, depending on how you want to serve them. Now you want to make sure you add enough water to cover the smoked turkey. It doesn't have to be completely full because this will boil over. So just cover enough just to cover the smoked turkey so we can get that nice and tender, and then we can go and work on other things. How's everyone doing this Monday? That was a question. That was a question. I'm waiting for an answer. How is everyone doing? Make sure you guys are checking on your family and checking on, your loved ones, and, getting that mental health, stabilized. It's a lot going on, and we need each other more now than ever. Now, usually, your recipe card will pop up now. I've only had 2 people talk to me about, the recipe cards help me. They're beneficial. Well, I know those 2 people. I can send it to them. No one else said anything, so y'all gonna have to pay attention. And we're gonna have to talk through this, cause no, I didn't make y'all no recipe card this week. Not this Monday. We enjoying these fall leaves and this cool breeze and this good stiff cocktail, y'all ain't getting no recipe card because y'all not telling me. Y'all gotta tell me, and it's gotta be more than 2 people. So we're gonna dice up these onions to go in the meatloaf. Now, whatever you put in your meatloaf, that's up to you. But I love onions and bell peppers, and I seen some ghost rotel. We are gonna use that. It's spicy as hell. I'm just gonna tell you now, it's spicy as hell. So if you don't want a spicy meatloaf, don't add this. But I wanted to try it because sometimes I do like to mix ketchup and hot sauce and put on top of my meatloaf. But I didn't do that this time. I added that ghost can of rotel and it set it off with that sweet ketchup. I thought it was amazing. But let's dice these onions up. We're gonna cut us up a bell pepper as well. I would say this is probably a half a cup of onion. Y'all know I love onions, so I'm gonna always add more onion than normal. You don't have to use this. You can use a small onion, cut you up a little bit, saute it a little bit, or you can add it in raw. We will be softening these a little bit because sometimes if you don't, or let's just say if you miss what's the word? You misjudge your time. You misjudge your time and you take your meatloaf out and the meat is done, but you wish your veggies were a little bit more tender. So we're gonna boost them up and we're gonna get them cooked really, really well before we add it to our meatloaf. Now, I am going to use 2 bell peppers. These bell peppers were extremely small, so try to find 1 large bell pepper. I'm using 2 because they were small and I like the bell pepper. These actual tops, I am going to use them for something else. Probably save them for my green seasoning or probably save them for something else. Don't throw the tops away. Now I am gonna start working on some garlic. I do like fresh garlic in my meatloaf, but this part is optional. You can use garlic powder. I probably will not use any garlic powder. I'll probably just use the fresh garlic um, in the meatloaf. But we do want to saute it down in the onions, in the bell pepper. Okay, now we got everything chopped up. Now let's move over to the stove. Now this is just some regular old vegetable oil. We're just gonna get enough in there, not a whole lot, because the actual ground beef is gonna be greasy enough. So we don't want too much oil. I know it looks like a lot, but it's actually not a lot. We want to soften these veggies, your onions and your peppers. We're probably gonna let it go for about 10 to 15 minutes. Really sweat them out, really get those flavors combined, and we're going to cool them before we add them to our meat. Now I am going to add, now listen up, because you ain't got no recipe card. I'm just going to keep saying that you ain't got no recipe card this week. So I am going to add a little bit of all-purpose to these veggies, just to give it a little bit more, a little bit of salt and a little bit of flavor to them. I think the all-purpose have, a little garlic, a little onion, a little salt. I think one has pepper. I think this one does have pepper in it, but just a little bit. So I'm gonna say that's probably a teaspoon and a half of all-purpose, just to season these veggies. And I'm gonna add some pepper to these as well. Now what I have here is 2.5 pounds of chuck. I'm going to add some beef bouillon, maybe a full tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. This stuff is extremely salty. I'm going to add that in. I have a teaspoon of cumin left over. So I am going to put the rest of this cumin inside of it. I am going to grab a pack of your Lipton onion soup mix. Yes, a pack of the Lipton onion soup mix. This right here sends your meatloaf to the highest elevation. Do not miss that step. If you don't add nothing else, add that pack of Lipton onion soup to your mix. Now, I'm a tomatoey person. A lot of people acid reflux and bodies can't take it. I am going to add in a can of the meatloaf seasonings from this can here. Now go back real quick. And you go pause that string because that moved kind of fast. You need to add this. It's really good. If you don't want your meatloaf extremely moist, or if you're on the dry side, but us moist girls want to add that meatloaf seasoning. Now give me a chance to get it open, because it was giving me a little trouble. Give me a chance to get it open. But I really like the meatloaf seasoning from Hunt's in there. We're also going to add the Ghost Rotel. That is optional because it is extremely spicy. It is extremely spicy. That is your warning. We like spicy over here, so we can handle it. And y'all probably already saw it coming. Almost in every dish, I am adding Worcestershire and soy sauce. But we're just going to do Worcestershire today. Just Worcestershire. And I did add 2 eggs. I normally don't add eggs, but this meatloaf has got so much body to it. So much body, oddy. I said, well, let me make sure that sister got something to hold her tight and hold her together, because we don't want her all loose. So we're going to put her in whatever pan fits for you. Always, wait, well, let's pause. Let's pause for a second. When I'm normally cooking, I'm cooking for 4 to 6 people. So my recipes are always a little bit larger than what you would fix for yourself or a 3-person home. We were raised on leftovers. We really enjoy leftovers, so I tend to try to fix more so we can have leftovers during the week. And who wants to cook every day? Nobody wants to cook every day. Now, my camera died in the middle of peeling these potatoes, so I'm just going to peel these white potatoes. I had a bag and 4 large russet potatoes that you buy in bulk. We're going to boil those down until they're tender. Here we go, talking about some damn tender. And now let's get started on these shallots. Now these shallots are going to go into our mashed potatoes with some butter and some fresh garlic. I like to do an infused oil for my mashed potatoes. I don't know where I got that from, but it helps not make the potatoes too soggy, and it just give it this nice robust flavor. Excuse all the noise in the background. I do apologize for that. But we're gonna get these shallots cut up fairly fine, and some garlic, a whole stick of butter, and we're gonna get that melted and over to the stove. using salted butter. Butter, not margarine. There's a difference. That country crock that I can't believe is not, that's not butter. Get you some butter. If your heart and your arteries can't take it, well, you probably shouldn't be eating no mashed potatoes. You probably shouldn't be eating no mashed potatoes. But y'all know I also love canned milk. So I'm going to use 2 whole canned milks. And I'm going to warm them up before I add it to my mashed potatoes. This will be lightly seasoned because I put salt in the water. But let's get over to the stove. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Now, our butter, shallots, and garlic have melted. I was trying to hurry up because I didn't want to scorch or burn my butter. We're going to put this in the bottom of our large bowl so we can mix all our ingredients for the mashed potatoes. We're going to add probably a half a teaspoon of black pepper, and then we're going to add our potatoes in. Now, I don't use a potato masher because I like for my mashed potatoes to have some body to it. What do I mean by body to it? Kind of lumpy in a way. It doesn't have to be all smooth and silky. I'm not really looking for that. I'm okay with using a whisk and mixing up the potatoes and adding in my milk, and I like that desired texture. I don't have to have it smooth. If you need it smooth, then pull out your potato meal or a good masher that gives you those really, really, really whipped silky potatoes. But I'm okay with this rustic type of feel to it. Be careful, this stuff is extremely hot. We have hot butter, hot potatoes, and we're going to add in our hot milk. Okay, we're going to taste and see if we need to add anything to it. It needs a pinch of salt, which I'm going to add flaky salt to it. And I am going to add more milk. Why am I going to add more milk? It's because I will be eating on this for the next 3 to 4 days. And the mashed potatoes heat up better if the milk is already in and they're already kind of moist, instead of trying to sprinkle water on them or wet your napkin and warm it up, or put them in a pot and adding some milk or some water to them. Add it now, since we know it's enough for leftovers, and we're going to keep tasting until we get the desired flavor that we want. favorite parts. I'm a cornbread lover. I was raised on cornbread, all types of cornbread. Yellow cornbread, fried cornbread, white cornbread, hot water cornbread. So, by the end of the fall and the winter, y'all are gonna be sick of cornbread because it almost will be prepared with every, and I mean every, meal. Now, I'm gonna say I used 1.5 cups of cornmeal, a 1/2 cup of flour, a 1/2 cup of sugar, a tablespoon of salt. We're gonna whisk our dry ingredients together. We're also going to add in probably 2 heaping tablespoons of sour cream and 1 whole can of canned milk. Now, for the elevation of this dish, I usually add a pinch or a splash of lemon extract. I do feel like that gives it an unusual taste that people normally don't expect, but it's fresh, it's delicate, and it's almost like a lemon cornbread pound cake muffin in a way, because we will be putting this in our muffin tin tonight. But I love some cornbread. Like, I mean, if you can't tell, I'm built like a brick house. I'm built like a brick house, and it's from the cornbread. It's from the cornbread. But this is a must-try recipe. You will see it again. You know what? You might see it next week. Now, I am going to add 2 eggs to this. That's all you need. It'll be fine with 2 eggs. It's already, whipped up because you want to make sure that no shells get inside of your mix. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more. We're going to get those in the oven at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. Make sure you watch them. Now let's add our green beans to our tender smoked meat. Make sure that you have rinsed your green beans after you have drained them out of the can. I just don't trust the can, but I do like the green beans from the can, but I just don't trust it. So rinse them off really, really well with, lukewarm water, and we're gonna add them, and you're gonna see that I kind of break the meat up just slightly, so as you're scooping, you can get a piece of meat in every bite. But let's start on our glaze for the meatloaf. Now, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar. I am going to add 1/4 cup of chili sauce. I'm going to add 1/4 cup. Now, who's talking to you? No one's talking to you. Here's Siri. Sorry. Here's Siri in our business. No one's talking to you. Now this part is optional. I am going to add some of the sweet and spicy Sweet Baby Ray's. Just a tablespoon amount, maybe 2. Maybe 2 tablespoons amount of the sweet Baby Ray's sweet and spicy, and we're gonna add this to our meatloaf. Now, here's our beautiful meatloaf. We're gonna add our beautiful sauce that we have heated all the way through and through. We're gonna pop this back into the oven under broil for about 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure you watch it. Now y'all know I have to dual stream and dual my social media, so I'm currently recording content for Snapchat and recording content for my TikTok. So when you see the screen is jumping, I am taking pictures and screen grabbing this stuff as we're doing it so we can post in a short content form. But here's your plate. Look at this. A wonderful Monday's dinner. Hearty, wholesome, and full of flavor. You have your meatloaf, your green beans, your mashed potatoes infused, and a beautiful cornbread muffin. I'll see y'all Saturday for game day. Bye.